Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 46 of the African Do podcast. Today, we have yet another person who fits the tag serial entrepreneur. A good old friend of mine, Robert Mundia. We go way back. Robert, welcome to the African Do podcast.
Thank you, Leonard. Glad to be here.
Excellent.
Really glad to be here.
Excellent. Sasa, maybe we should just disclose as we begin that Robert was my classmate. We were actually in the same house in high school. On Wayaki, we were there, Nairobi School, for 4 years. And when we finished school, Robert, you found your way into aviation. So let's start that story there. Yeah, I know that you're the son of an aviator. Your dad was a purser with Kenya Airways for a long time. And so you grew up really having a front row seat to the aviation industry.
Yeah.
So maybe walk us through the choice and then we'll go through how you pivoted to other things.
Okay. As in aviation, if we started with aviation, as children of a person working at the airline industry, he used to get free tickets for his kids. So places like, there are countries that we had gone to when we were very, very young, gone into planes and, sat in the cockpit when we were very, very young. So most of us we are brothers. We were three brothers. So most of us grew up knowing that we want to be pilots specifically. So because we used to keep going to the cockpit to see what they're doing. So when it came to a point where I'd already started a business selling clothes. And when that opportunity came to be employed, it was sort of, I became a cabin crew member as a stepping stone, hoping that I'll be able to do piloting after that, or when I'm employed there.
Yes.
And then study piloting and become a pilot.
Okay.
But that didn't work out. I'll just tell you, business just came in and things just went another direction.
So you did start your career as a cabin crew.
Yeah.
And how long were you with Kenya Airways in the cabin crew?
3 years.
3 years only?
3 years, yes. 98 to 2001.
Okay.
March.
Okay. Okay. And what now triggered the move away?
Now, there are three things that triggered. One, and the one that is in my mind a lot is that our last born brother was in the Abidjan crash.
Yes.
You remember the first one, not the dual one, the Abidjan crash.
Yes.
So he was in that crash. He passed. You remember there was only one body that was never found.
Yes, it was.
And that was the reason why that search stayed for 2 months. Because my mom had said there is no way her son's body has to be brought. So at some point when she was shown photos, 2 months later, you just know bodies. They won't be. When she was shown photos of how the bodies are being retrieved, the kind of bodies that are being retrieved, is when she said, okay, now you guys can close the search. That was one reason.
Yeah.
Second reason is a guy that his name is Captain Oteri.
Yes.
That guy was my mentor, and we used to find ourselves in flights together. Our rosters used to match a lot.
Yes.
So whenever we go to places like Dubai, at that time I'd already started the security company, a security company. So we used to go and we used to talk a lot. So I'd already disclosed to him, because we were close. And he's an older person, like a fatherly figure.
Yes.
So I'd already disclosed to him about the business and how it's doing, and he could see probably that maybe there's a car that he's seeing, and he's seeing that this guy is trying to make it. One day he told me, when I was in the cockpit one day, I think we're coming from Dubai or London or something.
Yes.
And one question he told me was, these guys sitting in first class are not all captains. They are not pilots. They're actually business people. So if you're seeing your piloting story is not really gelling very, very well, then I think his opinion was, I think you're a better businessman than a pilot.
Okay.
So that was the second reason.
Did that mean a lot? Coming from a sitting pilot or a flying pilot who's then telling you that, listen, you might be better at something else than this.
Yeah, and it made sense because he's talking about the people sitting in first class. First class tickets are hefty. So him saying that these guys sitting in first class are not pilots. They are business people.
Okay.
That triggered something in me.
And the third thing?
The third one was that the business, I had opened a security company just before getting the KQ job.
Yes.
So it started doing better it started becoming better because the salary from KQ used to go pay the rent in industrial area, the office, and the few staff members that were there, my salary used to pay that. And also, you know, when you're in KQ, you can also go and buy things from Dubai. Like I used to sell ICs, they're called diodes and ICs for the guys in Luthuli. So I used to come with cartons of ICs, sell them in Luthuli and promote the business. Now, it's actually started doing well because there was actually money to pay very good workers.
Yes.
And that's the other reason. One day I went after I was on leave after the plane crash.
Yes.
I went back and there's another manager there who just called me names, Bana, because I don't know why he was just calling me names. I went back into the car and wrote a resignation letter there and then. It was stamped, received, and I never looked back.
Okay. So let's talk a bit about this security company that you've introduced us to. This is ShanShark, right?
ShanShark Security, yes.
And it was not a security guarding company, but it was more security installations.
Yeah.
So let's come back to the beginning because you were doing this while you were employed. So what did you see? What gap did you see in the market? And how did you make that opportunity come to life?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this was actually by chance. I used to sell clothes at a place called Freemark. You remember Freemark?
Yes.
There near railways there.
Yeah.
So there was this salesman who used to come. Instead of, you know, he's a salesman, he's supposed to go to the field. Then he used to come to the stall just to sit there the whole day because we became friends. Then he used to tell us about the alarm systems. He used to work for a company that does alarm systems, the motion sensors, such things. So we just started that story and, you know, we were talking. And during one of those trips for going to bring clothes to sell, I went into Dubai and I saw these things are not expensive, you know, and I looked at the margins.
So what, you're talking about motion sensors?
Motion sensors, yes, alarms.
Alarm systems.
Yes,
and the like. Okay.
the magnetic contacts, vibration sensors for windows and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So I went and, because I found they're not expensive, I bought a few. And I just came with them, and but they stayed with me for like 6-8 months without even getting one job.
Yeah.
So this guy triggered something, and as I'm marketing, looking for a way of selling that first batch of motion sensors and alarm equipment, I started looking at sites, and it got me going, thinking that actually this business can actually be better.
Okay.
So in between that conversation with that guy and me going to sites and looking at sites and stuff, that's how ShanShark Security was born.
Okay.
The first job was 1 year after I brought that equipment.
Okay.
And you know, it was in Naivasha, somewhere so remote.
Yes. And what was the first job?
There is a farm opposite De La Mare. It's really big. It's actually as big as De La Mare. Somebody called Roberto. I can't remember the name of the farm, but it's very Marula Estates.
Marula Estates.
Marula Estates.
I know Marula, yes.
Marula Estates, that office of theirs.
Yes.
We were there with that last-born brother of mine.
Yes.
Because he was bored. I told him, come, we go to Naivasha, we go install, and an electrician. We went and installed it. By the way, you know, on all security installation systems, that alarm system is the hardest to install. These other things, CCTV, electric fencing, they're quite easy. That thing, one cable probably has 8 wires. A long time ago, 16.
Yes.
You need to know where to put every wire. And if you make one mistake, you might have to remove all the wires and start again. So it took us maybe double the time we had promised we'll install. But one evening we finished, and Roberto just said, Maze, you guys have tried. I've seen you guys are struggling.
And this is the installation in the office.
Yeah, that office.
So ShanShark now is alive.
Yeah.
It has, but this time you are still employed, right? You
Yeah.
are still flying.
Yeah.
So 3 years later, you write your resignation letter,
Yes.
and you go full time into ShanShark.
Yes.
How does that journey look like?
There was also an advantage. I would say there was an advantage at that time. There were 3 companies, including ShanShark, there were 3 companies or 4 that used to do, 4 actually, that used to do security installations.
Yes.
All the rest were owned by Mzungus.
Yes.
So when people saw a Kenyan, say I come to you, there is 3 white guys who are there presenting, and it's me, I'm presenting, and I'm talking the same language, and you can see I'm knowledgeable in that field.
Okay.
I think most of the time, most of the people are going to be biased towards giving his guy, you know. So I think that played a big part.
Yeah?
Yeah.
First mover advantage for an indigenous Kenyan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Another thing is that I was so young that I think I was like 24, 25.
Yeah.
And that fact that, the way people create an image when you're going to sell an item, you go probably with a flashy car, for example.
Yeah.
Okay, something that shows that you're going to afford to do the job. You won't run away with their chums. So that thing also, and my card used to read marketing manager.
Okay.
Because now if you're CEO of that company and you're saying it's a big
and
company,
you're 24.
they'll think this company is too small.
Yeah.
So my title on my card used to be marketing manager. And if this guy is a marketing manager, then this company is really, really big.
Okay.
Let me give these guys job.
Okay.
That's how we ended up getting, like, say, ranches, say, in Nanyuki. Those ones really built us up. Nanyuki and Naivasha. The flower farms in Naivasha,
yes,
I would say at around, by about maybe 2006, we were the ones who had done maybe 90% of the flower farms.
And what are you doing when you said you have done? I have a couple of questions, but let me start with the first one. When you said you are done, you started by doing these installations of alarm systems, but now you're talking about flower farms. So what's like your product mix? What are you
Good question.
selling to guys out there?
Now, security installations include alarm systems, electric fencing, CCTV, and access control. Access control, in essence, is electric gates.
Yes.
And these biometrics.
Yes.
So you have a large portfolio. You can walk into a place that's being built, even though they won't do all the other three, they need to do one.
Okay.
Maybe an electric fence.
Okay.
Maybe just maybe CCTV.
Okay.
So, like the flower farms, most of the jobs we did we started with alarm systems. For us to get their trust, we started, like flower farms usually have a very small store that stores very expensive fertilizer or things, the things they use on in planting, additives, yes. So you steal a box, one carton of that thing, probably it's around 600,000.
Yes.
So we started with alarm systems, and we were recommended. We got recommended. Then one person, a place called Flower Business Park.
Yes.
It's one big farm near De La Mea there that houses or rents out flower farms to other
various operators.
Yes, operators.
Various farmers. Yeah.
So one of the guys there told us, okay, by the way, you guys, I think you guys can do our electric fence. Okay, that flower farm was big. That particular one. It was really big. So that one really lifted us up. And because of that electric fence, we got the rest of the rest of the flower farms. And we also got recommended, actually Nanyuki ranches started from the Naivasha flower farms. This guy recommends this company, and these guys, they do a good job, and we were given. I'll correct you on something. We actually started guarding, I think 2008.
Yes.
But I think that was the biggest mistake I've ever made in my life.
What did you find out with guarding, man?
Boss.
Yeah.
We had a really good marketing team.
Yes.
These guys used to bring in jobs, electric fencing jobs, and now I engaged them and persuaded them to be bringing in guarding jobs. These guys brought in so many guards in a very, very short while.
Yes.
We were not prepared.
Okay.
The tree was bigger than the roots could hold.
Yes.
We didn't have a way of collecting money.
Yeah, you didn't have a system.
Yeah, we didn't have systems. On electric fencing, you do a job, say probably it's around X amount, maybe 200,000. You'll be given 100,000 when you finish 100,000. That one can take a week or two.
Yes.
In guarding, you do not have the luxury of time.
Yes.
You have to have cash.
Because end month,
big
salaries, you have to pay the guards.
The time now I decided, now it was eating into the security installation side.
Okay.
It ate up, and by the time I realized, because being optimistic, being the go-getter, being optimistic, so to speak, I kept saying this thing will flourish. We are not giving up. But
so you talk about interesting. You've learned from these mistakes, like going into guarding and finding it's not for you, and finding that guarding is probably eating into your working capital for the main business, which is thriving. But you also said one thing. You said that when you were presenting, you came across as knowledgeable. Yet this is not something that you have studied. And you admit that in your first job, you basically you winged it, but you pulled it off.
Correct.
So how do you then transition from someone who's winging it to someone who's become now knowledgeable enough to stand in front of a room, pitch for a job, get it, and execute it well?
Okay. I've always been technical, like repairing things.
Yes.
We used to dismantle, my son and I used to dismantle the DVD.
Yes.
And repair it. It used to be in like 20 pieces, and we'd assemble it again, we clean it and assemble it again, and it works. So that's the fact that I like those technical things made me go to sites.
Okay.
When a job is being done, I would sit down there. I know, in the beginning, I didn't know.
Yes.
It is an electrician who is doing things, and you're looking at them, and you're asking questions. So when you do that too many times, you're bound to know what you're installing.
Okay.
You're bound to get an idea of electric fencing. When we started on electric fencing after alarms, it was one of the most complicated. I thought it was one of the most complicated things ever.
Yeah.
But it's actually not. Okay, there are some tricks making sure that, like, say, for example, somebody will not be able to cut the wires.
Yes.
There's some tricks that are played to confuse the wires. Those ones come up with experience. But it's actually not. In reality, it's not complicated.
Okay.
It's very easy.
And how long do you now run ShanShark?
Okay, ShanShark is actually running to date.
Still running.
It's still running. It's
Yes.
really, it's not doing it that well.
Yes.
Yani, it always has a job or two.
Yes.
Always.
Yes.
There's always an electric fence going on, or
Camera.
two CCTV. Even you're my client.
Yes.
So there is always a job going on. It's not like any other business that I have, but there is always a job going on. So ShanShark has never stopped.
Okay.
It is still working. I'd like to, out of the dream that I had a long time ago when I was starting, I would like to revive it now later
Boss,
on.
let me ask you something. And I've never asked you this, even on a personal level, but maybe now this is the right time to ask you this. Do you feel that because you are young, you did not get comfortable in a corporate environment because you joined KQ at 19 thereabouts, and by 23 you're leaving, So do you feel that that you got into business early, and yes, you did experience a bit of the corporate life as a cabin crew, so a salary. But do you think that your early foray into business has given you the ability to try? You're not scared of trying.
Yeah.
Because if I was sitting with someone, and we have sat with many guests here on the podcast who are coming from a corporate environment, and the willingness to come out and just now go and try is what scares most people.
Yeah.
But you don't have that. Is that because of age? Or what would you put it to?
What I would say is, like initially, the reason for starting one of the first businesses, because you are young, it is actually, don't let people lie to you. It's the money.
Yes.
You age a bit, then you become a mentor and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Or you start appreciating what you're doing for other people.
Yes.
But initially it starts.
You want
as,
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want money. You just want to live that life, And you're young, you're seeing guys are going there, they're painting things, And you'd actually like that kind of life. That's what motivates the younger generation, including I.
Yes.
When I was starting the earlier company,
Okay.
the ShanShark Security, the motivation was money.
Yes.
Yeah, then later, like now, that company, like now, I'm just a mentor of people. I'll give you that story, the way I mentor other people on the security industry.
Okay.
But realistically, it is just money.
Okay.
And then you come and start growing, and you realize, okay, this thing actually, I need to take this thing seriously.
Yeah.
Because now, when you go to the office, you find, things are disorganized, for example. Like how come you forgot to ask this client about the marketer? How come you forgot to ask this client about this job and it's already 3 weeks? How come we lost this job? How come this happened? Then you realize that you actually need systems. You actually grow. The business grows as you're growing. You don't have.
You grow up in the business.
Yes.
Yes.
You don't have to. And that is another thing that I'd like to tell you in this podcast.
Yeah.
There are people who fear that thing of if I resign. And I get that question a lot, Blanco. That question very, very many people ask me that question.
Yeah.
Hey, which biashara can I do? I don't want employment anymore.
Mechoka, man.
Boss, me, I want to move. One thing I tell them is, you have to first put in that foot first.
Yes.
And but another thing I tell them, be careful. At this business environment, it's not really good.
Yes.
So start the business now when you still have the money and the employment as a cushion.
Yeah.
Let it flourish, let it work, and then now resign when you're sure.
Allow yourself to learn.
Yes. But if things go south, probably retrenchment or something, don't fear. You have an idea, just get into it, go and work, and as long as you're going into it every morning, 8 to 5, at least you're bound to get something right. Even is it a spoiled clock is right two times a day.
Yeah.
You're going to stumble onto something that is actually going to make you some little money. As long as you're doing it consistently, 8 to 5, you're doing that particular item. Don't fear.
I think you've raised a very interesting entrepreneurial topic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the importance of doing, even if you're doing imperfectly.
Mm-hmm. Well said.
Most people feel that they have to do perfectly. It has to be clean. It has to be, and we forget that time you will learn if you give yourself time. Yeah, I think that one of the things from my entrepreneurial experience that is underestimated is failure. I think failure is a powerful thing, man. I think failure is
like the way you bring it, and it's like a really good thing to happen to you. Actually, you're right. It's
but
actually a good thing.
You are failing at 24.
Boss, I've failed so many times.
At 24, so now when we are now in our 50s, you don't look at failure as this thing.
No.
But someone else went into corporate. It was safe. He was top of his class. We have classmates like that, top of their class in Patch. They come out, top their class in uni.
Yes.
Taken up by a big corporate. And now when you fast forward to 30 odd years, 30 something odd years since you finished school.
Yeah.
And it's like, now you're trying to get out, and you see failure as this dark thing.
They just need to get into it.
Yeah. But let's come back to the businesses.
Yeah.
You're not doing security now.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Now you've what do you call it? The word they use nowadays is you've pivoted into something different.
Yeah.
So tell us about Biovend East Africa Ltd. And what I'm curious about in telling us about Biovend, tell us where did the idea come from? And what has the journey for when did the idea come to you? How did you action it? And what is Biovend? Because I would say like 90% of your time nowadays is spent on Biovend East Africa.
Correct. Yeah. So how it started, there are two factors that actually motivated me to start. The first one, and I would say it was hilarious because there is a guy called Sangani. They have trucks.
Yes.
That guy, RK, yes. So RK, he's very particular on security. You install something for him, you hand over to him. It doesn't really matter how small it is.
Yes.
You hand over to him himself. Even if you do hand over to the manager, you'll come back when he comes back, if he's not there. So one day he calls me, and it was Easter. I think it was Easter or Easter weekend. He calls me and tells me, there's another car here I want to test. I want us to go to Costo. You hand over that electric fence. I tell him, Maze, it's Easter. He says, me, I'm going. And if you don't, this is the chance you'll have to hand over to me. Then I pay you. Okay. Hey, motivator is money, isn't it? I told him we go. So we went to Costo. I handed it over. It was working perfectly. Now, on payment, because we had a few beers with him that evening. So when it came to payment, I think on Saturday morning is when he was meant to go. We were meant to go with him to the bank. Because now I was telling him, if you don't mind paying me cash, I would really be happy. Yani, don't write for me a check for next week.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, we go. So he called one of his drivers, Nini, we go. Then, withdrawal, he has to withdraw himself. where we got parking was so far away that we had to walk. Yani that guy, and he's so big. You know, at that time, he was like one of the biggest truckers. So we walked with him all the way. You know what he told me? He told me, now look here, boss. Me taking me all this way because of 400 Gs. You Mundia, you're testing me and you're mistreating me, son. I told him, you're the one. We agreed last night you're pelekaing me to withdraw. He told me this. What I'm saying is, I would rather walk this way when I'm going to withdraw for you 4 million, not 400 Gs. That thing is not sitting well with me.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, that was a motivating factor. Now, what jobs do I get that will give me? Electric fencing at that time, the big jobs were actually starting to get finished. So you couldn't get, it was rare to get like a 4 million, 5 million, 6 million job. So another thing that happened at around the same time, there was a site that we, Mambo. So he had a site that we were doing electric fencing for. And there is this company that was doing a biodigester, not a sewage water treatment plant. I'll explain the difference. Those common biodigesters. But these guys were so busy. They were never even coming for meetings. They are being called, they are not coming for meetings because they are so busy. And I asked about the pricing. I was told how much they charge. Okay, so I went into the internet. I started looking at companies and how that thing works. How it works. I actually went for a trip in South Africa, one of the companies there, but they had already gotten a person to work, to be their representative in Kenya.
And what you're reading up on is wastewater treatment systems, sewage and wastewater treatment systems.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I went to South Africa. I tried getting a dealership from them. They said they already have someone. But there is this one company that of all the companies that I wrote to, Japan, US, South Africa, other South African companies, Australian companies, German companies. There is this one company that was ignoring. And you could see their rating and the way they are saying, and their, how do you say, when customers, their website used to have a place where customers speak either well or badly or better about your system, well or bad about your system. And these guys were not responding to me. One day I got a call, a funny number, I just picked it up, and somebody told me there is a representative of ours I think it was the Danish embassy. There's a representative of a company in Denmark who is in Nairobi for those expos, KCC Expo. Yeah, and he would like, you showed interest. They are saying you showed interest. So I went there and KCC, I got the number, the guy's number. Mzungu, he was my partner, that guy. So I got his number and I went to KICC. We actually hit it off, and he was a gentleman. We hit it off, and he decided after that, he used to come and go. He used to be a manager in the Danish company that was ignoring.
Yes.
So he decided that he wants to settle. He got a wife here. He decided he wants to settle in Kenya. So we agreed that we need to be partners. My advantage was white guy, maybe 60-something years old. That guy is very good image to the business. My knowledge of going, because of ShanShark security, going around, I know architects, I know, sites, I know engineers, I know developers. So it was a really good team.
Yeah.
And we worked very, very well, by the way.
So you see this opportunity, but how does this, maybe now is a good time for you to introduce the sector to us. What is this wastewater management systems? What happens in that space? You talked about biodigesters, you talked about filtration systems, you talked about sewage treatment plants. So walk us through, give us an overview of what the industry is.
Okay, so Biovend itself is not, people say it's a sewage company. It's actually a water company.
Okay.
But we get more sewage jobs somehow.
Okay.
It's like ShanShark used to get more electric fences than these other jobs.
Yes.
But this one gets a lot of sewage jobs, but it is actually a water purification company. We take in any kind of wastewater. Factories that use a lot of water, and they would like to reuse it again in their processes. Or it has chemicals and it has some dirt that cannot go into the drainage or sewage. So, warmer things, fats, such things. There are some things you're not allowed to even throw into the sewage, leave alone the drainage. So those are the companies that get in touch. We clean their water, and they reuse their water. Companies that say consumes probably 8,000 liters of water a day. That's a lot of water to throw away. And they need more water, to buy more water. So they save probably about, I would say they save about 60-70% of their water, because the rest is dirt.
How?
That machine, it's called, okay, now it depends. It's created in a different way. You look at the dirt that's there. You take that sample, that water sample, you take it to a water laboratory, accredited NEMA laboratory. You get a water analysis report. So that tells you what you need to remove to make that water better.
Okay.
You understand? Because you need to use
So
some
you start
minerals.
by taking the dirty water for lab testing.
Yes.
And when you take the dirty water for lab testing, you then see, okay, this is what constitutes this dirty water.
Yeah.
And in order to make it potable,
Yeah.
this is what we need to remove.
To remove, yes.
Okay.
Very important. There are people who say, no, give me a rough estimate. I try my best to tell them we need to have a sample, because you can't get it. There are situations where the water is so dirty, you'll find cleaning a very small amount of water is the same price as cleaning a very large amount of water that is actually cleaner.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is important that it is taken to a laboratory for testing.
Okay.
Then you design the system. What do you need? You need ultrafiltration, you need the filters, you need the carbon filters. There are very many things that constitute a system.
Yeah.
And the dirtier the water, the more complicated the system, obviously.
Yes.
So that is really catching on in Kenya because of the seriousness of the government bodies. You know, even though we are saying government is not really doing their, I'm telling you, this water business, this water bodies, like, I mean, these water companies like Wakina Warma, Kanjo, those companies that deal with water, they're actually very serious people. They're actually arresting very senior people.
Okay.
Yeah, they are going, say, to a factory somewhere. They find this guy is pouring dirty water into a river, and they're actually arresting them.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that I like. We must give credit where it's due.
Yes.
So, and also, okay, when they're arrested, obviously they give us work, because they have to clean the water now quickly, so that their business continues.
Yes.
So I digress. What was the question? Please remind me.
No, the question was, you were just walking us through the industry.
Oh, generally.
Yes, what it is, what kind of things you install.
Yeah.
And I think you started with
the water purification plant, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then that is one of the products that we have. The second one, and the most interesting one, is sewage. We actually clean sewage and make it clean. The company I represent makes it clean, makes their water clean enough to drink. But in Kenya, guys said,
mentally, they can't cross that barrier.
I even went to NEMA to tell them to write for me now a letter to say that our water can be drunk. He told me, you guys just go away, man. Just scatter.
We don't know what we can't tell.
How can we write at yours, NEMA to write at you? One day a guy gets sick.
Yeah.
Even one of the people.
So what do you do in a Kenyan context?
In a Kenyan context, it's actually a challenge. So there's levels of cleaning that water. For you to be able to drink that water, there's a sixth level. There are 5. There's a sixth level that comes where you introduce, say, the water purification equipment, and it makes it potable.
Yes.
So there's even one of the people that we work for. The reason we got that job, that is Tilisi. The reason we got that job is because the owners are very, they've seen the world.
Forward thinking, yes.
They've seen the world. You know one of the owners. So you actually know both.
Yes.
So one day I got a call because we were bidding for through a company called Howard Humphreys, and we were bidding and hoping that we get the job, and because somebody else had messed up there. The first installation that they did, somebody else had messed up. So as we were bidding, one day I told them that our water can actually go to that level of cleanliness where you can actually drink. Oh, they got interest. So even though they are not drinking the water, it's not being cleaned to be drunk, it's actually just irrigating, but they still held on to us because of just that last factor, where that water can be cleaned enough to be drunk. So on sewage, it's a very interesting concept because it is just about settling the water, and then aeration. We don't use chemicals. That's a big factor for us.
Okay. What do you use?
Ours is bacterial. It's the bacteria. We just provide a conducive atmosphere for bacteria to thrive. We give it, we try and clean the water. The first stages are for settling solids at the bottom, water in the middle, fats on top.
Maybe for the ease of the audience to follow.
Okay.
Let's start from I've flushed the toilet.
Aha. Well,
I've used the toilet, I've flushed.
Yes.
Now you take over.
Now you've flushed.
Yes.
The water, older systems and local systems usually have things like grease traps because of the kitchens. You have to have a grease trap somewhere because fats are not good for the other systems.
Yes.
Our system takes in everything.
So
We actually-
it has gone.
we
Where
actually-
does it go?
It goes to a first chamber. It goes. There's the last manhole. It's just an inspection manhole, and there's the first chamber. The first chamber, first and second, are just settling chambers. You just let the solid settle. Water remains in the middle, and fats on top. We need those fats. I'll explain later. Actually, let me tell you why. The first and second chamber is raw sewage. So for that first and second chamber not to smell, the fats come and mask on top. It's sort of gunky, it's like
Yes,
a blackish thing that just comes and masks. That helps the first and second chamber not smell. After that, the water is not really smelly, and it goes through there's one very important thing before I move forward. The third chamber is called a buffer tank. When you give, it's bacteria that is consuming that water, the solids and the dirt. There's a lot of flow in the morning. People are showering, people are using the loos, people are eating breakfast. So after that, everybody probably goes. You can't give bacteria all that sewage at that time. So there's a third chamber that's a buffer tank that collects the sewage every 15 minutes. It's timed. There's a control panel that times it. The bacteria collects is given, the chamber that has bacteria is given that water every 15 minutes. And it consumes easily, slowly. By the time that water leaves that chamber, it goes to the last one. It's actually clean water. You'd think it's drinking water, but it's not. It has microorganisms, like E. coli and stuff.
Yes.
So after that, we went ahead and started another product where immediately, unfortunately for sewage, when you do it, that water has to go somewhere. Because there's more sewage coming. You can't just linger. In the evening tomorrow, there's more water coming, so you just can't linger that part. Now we went forward and started irrigation. We do pop-up sprays that come up at night at 2 a.m. They just spray, and the next day, the machine waits for more sewage. So it's actually a product, that irrigation product we started last
But
year.
how do you remove the E. coli, Uko?
Oh, bacteria.
Yes.
Oh, bacteria.
Yes.
There is a last, because we do not want to use chemicals. That's our, I would say...
That's your key selling proposition.
Yeah, because chemicals are not, it's not green. You're not going green. Okay, chlorine is not really bad. You can actually, swimming pool water people drink.
Yeah.
But so that we try as much as possible not to use chemicals. We've used chemicals in the past.
Yeah.
But nowadays we're installing a UV light that kills the microorganisms. The water that comes out of the last chamber goes through a pipe that has UV that kills the microorganisms.
So you use ultraviolet.
Yes, that's it. So then after that, it goes to the irrigation. The reason why UV you have to use, that water is going to water lawns. Even people can actually come. Probably there's a tap, or probably there's somewhere that somebody can access that water. There are people who try to drink that water, even though we make sure that the taps, if there's a tap, we try and there's a special kind of tap that you need a lock or a key to be able to open, right? Yes. So that's what we do to those taps. But just to be careful, UV is important. Another factor, that is, again, it depends on the system. There are some systems that you won't actually need the UV.
Yes.
You reduce the cost for the client. You say here, your grass is open air kabisa. The sun is UV. So the sun, when that water pours, when the sun comes out probably by 6, 7, all the microorganisms can't really survive with UV, the sun's UV rays. So the microorganisms die that way. Okay. Yeah, so that's how it works.
So tell us about this space. I mean, very interesting. But who are your typical clients? You've mentioned one, which is, but I think for you, Tilisi, that's a large client.
Yeah.
But who is your, let's say, speak about small, medium, and large. Who do you service?
Okay. Anybody who is not on this, who doesn't have a sewer line,
yes,
is our client. It's just that some some soils, like say the reason why you find septic tanks work in other areas. Say you'll find somewhere like where there's red soil, Runda areas and stuff. You'll find it very hard to be able to get a job. You'll find it easier to get a job in Karen. There's an area in Karen with black cotton soil. Reason being, black cotton soil water does not percolate easily. So the septic tank clogs. When it rains again, the sewage water is collected, and that gives us work. Go down again to Akinasio Kimau, go to Kangundo Road. There are actually people on Kangundo Road as far as not Tala, but those areas of Kantafu, Kamulu and stuff. They've actually installed, because the normal local biodigester does not work, because that water goes to a soak pit, and the soak pit will not work on black cotton soil. It's not percolating. It's not percolating. So anybody who is not on a sewer line should be able to install. And especially, again, there are people who have water problems, water issues.
Yes.
They do not want, even without water issues, you do not want to spend a lot of money watering your lawn. Okay. Because it's a lot. Yes. Another thing is, you know that water another thing I forgot to tell you, when that water is cleaned, if we get into a site before it's built, we advise the client to do plumbing to reflush the toilets. All right. You see the toilet.
So you take the water that you've cleaned from the sewer, you put it back in the toilets.
Yes.
But that requires you involved at design stage of the house.
Correct.
So that the plumbing is done like that.
Yeah.
But it must be a huge saving then, because we're doing 6 to 7 liters per flush?
Yeah, and there are other cisterns that are about 9 liters. So, and you can imagine, everybody, you flushing is the biggest consumer of water, the toilet. So if you can save, a long time ago the cisterns were 20 liters. You remember those old ones, the ceramic ones?
Heavy things, yeah.
So those ones used to save guys a lot of water, a lot of money on water. Yes. These other ones, yes, you're saving, but you're saving less. You'll save about 40-30%, which is also a saving, Blancos. Good. So you reflush the water. You keep it's a process. It's a cycle.
So who are your customers? Tell me. In terms of businesses or business groupings. Of course, there's the individual. We've got that clearly. Yeah. And we've also understood you have this big corporate, either in factories who you're cleaning for, or in major developments, master plant developments like Tilisi. Yeah. But who is sitting here in the middle?
Okay, there is even apartments like where we are. There is a high likelihood that there is a sewage treatment plant here. High likelihood. Probably the water is taken to the drainage.
In this building where
we are. Yeah. Because nowadays, if you see most of the new buildings and there is no sewer line, they have a problem with sewage and where to take that sewage. Yes. But that water can be cleaned well enough. Drainages are available. Sewage lines are not available. So, because of rain. Yes. So, you can clean that water well enough to be taken to the drainage. So most buildings do that. Okay. That's the middle class building.
I saw you recently on Facebook doing a video for a lodge. Is that a new client base for you?
It is. Yes. And I'm proud to say that we are one of the pioneers of sorting their problems. Okay. The conservancies, they don't want anybody doing permanent structures. Yes. Because it's not actually even theirs. They are renting it. So even if you have to dig and do the civil works and stuff, they don't want those things. Yeah. They just want you to come and place things on top. When you finish, you go with them. We designed a system that we actually did a system that is actually a containerized system. Yes. We put everything into a container. The water enters from that door of the container.
What, a 40 foot or a 20 foot?
Okay, that one was 2. One was 40, yes. One in the lodge was 40 foot, because that's where most of the water is consumed.
And you custom designed this thing?
Yeah, we custom. Now the tanks are inside. We place the tanks. It's in chambers. Yes. As I explained, it's cleaned in chambers, in a series of chambers. So we just custom made chambers into a container. Yeah. Went, dropped it, connected the pipes, and the water is clean. Excellent. Now, the main lodge had a 40 foot. The workers' place where the drivers come, 20 foot. It wasn't the water that's being consumed there is not a lot. Yeah. So that one got a 20 foot. But that thing is really giving us a lot of mileage for lodges, because they are getting shidas.
So let's put on our dreaming cap a bit.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that we have been talking to with you about is capitalization funding. Yeah. and I like to pose this question because I think it paints a great picture of what's possible. Let's assume that you can access any amount of money from a capital perspective that you need. What do we see Biovend do?
Because that story you've brought, Yani, I'm happy you're bringing it up because the funding is a big issue here in Kenya, but I think we'll start to gain some funding maybe in future, not now. So Biovend, my dream, I told you now as you grow older, you remember the story where we started?
Yes.
As you grow older, you start getting in touch with the business. It's about money, paper in the beginning. But then you start seeing how you can make
Impact.
Impact. First to society, second to your business, third creating employment, giving people some money in their pocket, right? So there's something, I came up with a business plan to make sewage water treatment cheaper. It's actually not cheap. Let me give you an example. The local biodigester that takes water to a soak pit is, say, 90 to 100 Gs. The sewage treatment plant is 320, 340 going forward without the civil works. Just the sewage treatment plant. So you find that somebody has built a house, they don't want expenses, Sana. So they tell you first do the biodigester, and then it works. Then they wonder why they want to upgrade. There is no need. But you look at the world, and you want people to consume water nicely.
Yeah.
Did you hear that story about aquifers and boreholes drying up, coming from the Gashie side?
Yes.
One of our friends in our patch group said actually boreholes have dried up in the areas of Nyari, Gashie, coming this way.
Yes.
They are drying up, Blanco.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not a joke. So impact is, I want people to be able to install sewage treatment plants so that water is consumed less in the house because you're using the water to water your lawn instead of kanjo water.
Yes.
That is one. So I came up with a business plan that was going to make sewage water treatment cheaper.
Yes.
Where we are going to not manufacture per se, but assemble. There is one item that we cannot manufacture locally.
Yes.
It's patented. So the filter itself, that's where we gain the big advantage of our water. That's why our water is very clean.
Yeah.
That one we have to bring, and it's not cheap. So, but the other items, we can come and retrofit and, make a system, a small, nice system that you're just going to dig, put it in, plug and play, and it works.
Okay.
Let me tell you impact, financial. If we got good funding, we would actually teach people, because you can't really handle. When you hear people in Kitale want that thing because it's affordable now. Before I go to that Kitale part and its affordability, the cost that I managed to get is the same cost as building a septic tank. Imagine that. A septic tank is what is used even in shags.
Okay.
Now imagine if you called a contractor to do for you a septic tank, they would charge you probably 190 to 210.
Yes.
I actually came with a price margin of about 240 for a sewage water treatment plant.
Wow.
All included.
Nice.
And that is what, but you have to have, it needs a lot of capital. So if on the impact side, coming back to the impact side, financial impact side, you are going to actually, have kijanas somewhere, maybe in Kitale, who have been taught by your company on how to install that system. And your work will be like, say, now Biovend will be like now the manufacturer of sorts.
Okay.
Just to give those guys, you come, you get it, you go and install, you go and get it, because it's going to, we have to admit, we're no longer young anymore. We know about business. We've gone through it all. We are no longer greedy.
Yes.
You want to do the installation and make more money, but in realistically, you'd better just be the manufacturer.
Grow the cake.
Yeah.
Grow the cake.
Yeah, give guys to install, you make your name.
Yes.
I'd like for one day Biovend to be called, that system to be called the Biovend. Not the sewage treatment plant. That Biovend of yours is not working. That Biovend of yours is really giving us clean water.
Okay.
That is my dream. So
funders out there, if you you've had it, environmental impact, social impact, water usage reduction, there's lots. I'll give Robert a chance but allow me maybe in wrapping up to just say a couple of things. I really admire what you've done and what you continue to do.
Thank you.
I admire the fact that you are not afraid to try and that you just get on with it. you know, and we kind of just do this thing. This is our country, our continent, yeah? And if we can take control of issues to the point where you learn from your partners, but your learning you're not learning to imitate, but you're learning to be able to implement better in your context.
Well said.
Which is a local one. Yeah. And so you're now thinking, okay, how do I drop this thing from 350,000 to 240? And then, you know, those are very local contextual things.
Correct.
And you're not trying to look into some book that someone created about ESG somewhere. This is a local thing, yeah. The challenges that you're talking about are real challenges.
Correct.
You know, boreholes drying, real boreholes drying that we are using, you know, replenishing the water table is a real thing that needs to happen.
You heard about wars in the future will be about water, not oil.
100%. Yeah. So now I'll give you a chance to speak to the market and speak to the audience. Tell them about Biovend East Africa. Where can they find you? Where can they find your socials? But even don't leave ShanShark as the orphaned child there. Also, plug ShanShark, you know, if people are looking for CCTVs or electric fences, there's still some need. So the two businesses that you've had the privilege of building, maybe you can just tell the audience where they can find you, how they can reach out to you, your websites and the like.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I'll start with ShanShark. ShanShark is actually a fully grown company. I don't know what question we would go into, which scenario we would go into, and we asked a question that we cannot answer.
Yes.
Okay, on both businesses now that I've grown into the water business. So ShanShark has, I would really like to revive it and make it bigger, just for the sake of the dream, you know, what I'd planned. And we install all those things that we install, apart from guarding.
Yes.
We do all of those things, the security
electric
things.
fences.
CCTV, access control, you know, the biometrics and the electric gates. What else is there? We say the electric fencing, alarms, CCTV, access control. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, and now it has come to a point where I'm actually mentoring people. This story I'd like to tell you, Blanco. There's another guy who used to work for me. He wasn't even a technician. What he came to do was, you know, those electric fence, the black things that you see on an electric fence, the insulators.
Yes.
We just got a guy to be riveting because we had a lot of work, so we needed guys to be screwing them in and riveting and stuff. He came in as that. About 2 elections ago, that guy grew. He was actually vying for MP somewhere in Nyanza. Imagine that. Those are the things I like hearing, Blanco. The guy came, I used to run a bar, you know that. So this guy came one day and he kept telling people, Yani, this guy, this is somebody vying for MP seat.
Yes.
And he's saying me, I owe everything to this guy.
Yeah.
Those are the things I like hearing.
Okay.
I like hearing kiddos saying, you know, you see a guy, maybe somebody sees my car and maybe somebody knows me or something, sees me working and they call me, siwe ndio ule ShanShark, aki unajua, haunijui, lakini nilifundishwa kazi na, for example, Edward. Nilifundishwa kazi na Edward.
So where do guys find ShanShark?
ShanShark, you can, all socials.
All socials.
We are
the handle?
ShanShark Security, just ShanShark Security.
Okay.
And Biovend is Biovend EA on the socials.
Okay.
Biovend EA. LinkedIn is Biovend EA.
And
Facebook is Biovend East Africa.
Biovend East Africa.
Yeah,
yes.
we are very good on socials. You know, our common friend who does a very good job for us, Steve.
Yes.
Big up, Steve. Continue doing your good work.
Yeah.
Socials, website, very few people go through our website.
Yes. But what is it anyway?
Oh, it's Biovend East Africa. www.biovend.co.ke.
Biovend East Africa or Biovend EA?
www.biovend.co.ke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Biovend.co.ke.
Yeah,
okay.
But there is some traffic, but most of the traffic is on Google, YouTube, and the socials.
Maybe now after this podcast, even website.
I'm telling you, it has to work, Yani. This dream has to come.
It has to.
It has to come.
Robert Mundia, thank you very much for being our guest on episode 46 of the African Do podcast. It's always a pleasure to talk to someone and understand how our journeys as entrepreneurs evolve. So thank you very much for accepting our invitation, and we look forward to more interaction with you in this space as you continue to grow and develop it.
And thank you so much for inviting me, Blanco. I like giving those stories, and especially the failure stories. We didn't have a lot to talk about.
Yes.
Giving guys psych on how to fall and come back up, you know.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good. Ladies and gentlemen, that was episode 46 of the African Do podcast, where we are privileged to have with us Robert Mundia of ShanShark East Africa and Biovend East Africa Ltd. One is doing security systems, and the other is doing water purification and sewage treatment solutions around the country. And we look forward to having you with us again on episode 47. Asante sana, and have a good day.